Hello, I'm Jesse with American Radon Mitigation. In this video, we're going to be covering how to find a good radon mitigation contractor in your area and some of the questions you should be asking. Let's get started. So this video is inspired by one of our YouTube viewers that left a comment. Their name is Music Keeps Me Sane. They were kind of let down by the EPA website because it kept referring them to their state website, which did not have a list of certified contractors in their area. So I have two suggestions for you. I would Google NRPP, that's the National Radon Proficiency Program. And once you do that, in the search results, it's going to pop up, find a radon mitigation, or if you click on that, it'll have you enter your zip code and you'll be able to find a list of certified contractors in your area. The next would be the NRSB, that's the National Radon Safety Board. Google that, you will find a link you can click on to do the same thing. It's called Find a Pro. I am not as familiar with NRSB. I've always done everything through NRPP. I think there's a lot more people that have taken the NRPP route. My next suggestion would be to check your state's website. So here in Minnesota, it is a licensure state. The Department of Health is heavily involved with radon mitigation, and their website is a great resource. They have a list of licensed measurement and mitigation providers, as well as a ton of other information about radon. So check your state site and they might have the information you're looking for. I know that doesn't help you. Music Keeps Me Sane, but hopefully it'll help somebody else that's watching. Music Keeps Me Sane's next question is around guarantees. And he said that most people in his area are guaranteeing radon levels after mitigation of 4 to 4.1 picocuries. Guarantees are hard because everything we're dealing with, or a lot of the things we're dealing with, are things that we can't see. We can't see behind your walls. We can't see below the slab to see what kind of soil you're dealing with. We can't always see, if there's center footings or if there's beams, and the finished basement makes all of that much harder. So I wouldn't get super hung up on the guarantee, but I'd just recommend looking for somebody that is going to work the hardest to get your radon levels as low as possible, and whoever that is that you feel comfortable with. Music Keeps Me Sane is also wondering if they have a radon mitigation system installed and it doesn't get their radon levels as low as possible, are there additional steps that they can take to help reduce the radon levels? And the answer is yes. One of the easiest ones would be to seal. Say the contractor overlooked some sealing. It might be a bathtub plumbing blockout that you got to cut an access panel for and seal the hole that's in the slab there. Sealing helps the radon system reach further. So say they install it in this corner of the house and you have your kid's bedroom in this corner, and the system is only reaching half of the footprint of the house. You might not see the radon reduction you're looking for. It could be as simple as sealing some of those things that allows that system to reach further, thereby reducing your radon levels even lower and also dropping your operating costs. So sealing's an easy one. We offer consulting, so if you want to hop on like a Google Meet or a FaceTime call with us, we can take a look at it and maybe give you suggestions on how you can further reduce your radon levels. So we'll put links to that in the description as well. It could be some stuff that's more complicated, like adding additional suction points or changing out the fan. That might be hard for some homeowners to do. Some of the ones that are a little bit more hands-on, we also offer tool rentals, so we can help you kind of further diagnose your problems by kind of guiding you through doing some pressure field extension, which is going to give us more knowledge to be able to help you better. Now for some of the questions I would be asking if I was hiring a radon mitigation contractor. The first one for me is fan placement. Where is the fan going to be? I hate outside systems. I would not put it on my own house unless it was the only option. It's typically the only option when there's a detached garage and it's like a 1.5-story house, or it's an old house without any closets on the main floor. So I would look for a contractor that is going to maybe take the time to put the fan in the attic, or potentially put it in the garage attic, which would be my number one location in most cases. Next thing I would be asking is, do you do pressure field extension testing or PFE testing? You want somebody that can do that and understands how to interpret the data. That's what allows you to get your radon levels as low as possible and get your operating costs down. It tells us a whole ton of information. There's a lot of guesswork in radon mitigation, and that takes a lot of it out of the equation. So it tells us things like, where are we going to put our suction point? Do we need additional suction points? What fan are we going to use? What size pipe are we going to use? If we have multiple suction points, it helps us tweak the dampers and valves so we can balance everything, and it really allows us to kind of dial everything in so the system isn't oversized and it's not undersized. And we can even take it a step further with the optimal mitigation, where we look at not only how do we get the radon levels as low as possible, but how do we make it super energy efficient or super quiet. And all that can be achieved by doing and understanding pressure field extension. So that's the number one thing I would look for. Next, I would look at or ask about sealing. Is the contractor going to seal the cracks and openings and gaps, or are they just going to throw it in and kind of run for the truck, or are you going to do it as a homeowner? I personally love it when the homeowner wants to do the sealing and ask about it. It saves them typically a few $100s, and it's something that we don't have to do. Sealing isn't fun. It is easy though. It just takes time and it gets monotonous. So sealing is something you can usually do as a homeowner. Radon contractors love it, and might save you some money on the upfront side, but for sure on the long-term operating cost, because it's not pulling as much conditioned air out of your house. Another thing I would be asking about is if the radon system is going through a firewall, like if it's coming from the house out to the garage into the attic, would be Firestop Collars. And unfortunately, we see those installed improperly in some instances where it looks good, you can see it's there, but in the event of a fire, it would simply push off the wall and leave you and your family susceptible to a fire that spreads to your house, or smoke that spreads to your house through that penetration where the radon pipe passes through the wall. Another thing would be the electrical. Is the radon contractor going to do the electrical? Are they able to pull a permit for it? Here in Minnesota, we don't do any of the electrical because we're not a licensed electrician, so we can't pull a permit for it. So ask about the electrician. Is it on you to arrange that? Is the mitigation contractor going to arrange it? Here we just give our customers the option to arrange it for them. Another thing I would ask about is, hey, what's your average reduction? What do you get the radon levels down to? So over the last 3 or 4 years, we get our radon levels on average down to 0.5. So it's a good question to ask. If they get their radon levels down to 3.9 on average and you're shooting for 2 or less, you may want to consider going with another contractor. Another thing I would ask about is what materials they use. Do they use Schedule 40 pipe? Do they use thin wall pipe? Do they use downspout material? All things that can impact like the longevity or the noise or the freeze up potential of your radon system. So here we use Schedule 40 cellular core PVC pipe. Another thing I would look at is to make sure that they're licensed or certified. So here in Minnesota, we didn't have licensing until like 2 years ago, and it was just a voluntary certification that we carried. So you didn't have to be licensed or certified to do radon work here in Minnesota. Your state might be the same way. We've now switched to licensing, so we have to be licensed to do radon work. But if you're in a non-licensure state, I would look for somebody that has that voluntary certification that just kind of shows that they've gone maybe a little bit above and beyond. They've tried to get better, kind of hone their craft so that they can better serve you and your family. I hope you found the video helpful. I'm sure I forgot a few things, so if you have questions that I did not address, put those in the comments down below, and we'll do our best to either answer them or we'll shoot another video. And until next time, I'm Jesse with American Radon Mitigation. Thank you so much for watching.